Hi guys, it's Kate back again. I am going to do the behind the scenes tag by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I'm going to move the book with the questions in so that I can actually see it, and I'm not doing that all the time. Okay, so 1. Take a picture of your setup. Optional. Well, what I have done is I took a video of my living room before I set everything up to film my last video, and then a couple of little snippets on my phone as well, so I will insert all of that here. Okay, so this is about to be the setup part of the behind the scenes tag. This is an important statement to start with. You are about to see my whole living room. I will try and not make you sick. So this is where I usually stitch, over here, stitching stuff over there. This is what my living room looks like at the moment. I've just dropped Megan off at the childminders. So this is actually where I sit and film my videos. As you can see, yes, the balloons are still going and have multiplied slightly. That is where I sit, on that, to film my videos. But at the moment, no video setup. These boxes are about to come in very handy. Okay, so prep work starts now. Okay, so this is the setup, all set up. I've just finished filming my number 5 catch-up video. So all the bits are still sitting around, bits of Potter, bits of this, bits of TARDIS, and there's Groot. Okay, so that was that, right. Yes, messy, but it works. Okay, 2. How did you come up with your channel name? Basically, with a bit of an evolution. I use, so mine's Kate. Channel name is Petronella Rose, which is, I used the name Petronella on Twitter, and it was also the name of, it was a name I used online when I used to play World of Warcraft. It's the name of one of my favourite characters from a series of children's books, the Witch End series by a guy called Malcolm Saville, that were written in kind of the 50s, 60s. They went on for a while, because like the first one is supposed to be set either during or just after the Second World War. The last one is sort of theoretically set, really comes across as more of the 80s, which is certainly when it was written. But the characters have managed to only age about 5 years in that time. I think they start off at 16 or not quite 16, the oldest ones, and I think at the end they're like 21, something like that. But they're mostly set in Shropshire, which is actually quite near where I live now. And there is a girl, there's a family from London who are there on holiday, and they bump into this girl who goes around, you know, on a pony all the time, short hair, all the rest of it, and her name's Petronella, but the only person who ever calls her that is her father, otherwise she's Peter. It's like George from the Famous Five. But I love the name Petronella, and I've just been using it for that. And then when I'd had to do some other things, Petronella was taken on a couple of places, and I added Rose, which is another favourite children's book character from the Cass and Family series by Hilary Mackay, Permanent Rose. And I added Rose to that, and then that's my Instagram name. I think it's on Flickr, it's on a couple of other things, and then that just became, that's the name Google, it's the name Google knows me by, so it's become my channel name on here. I might change it at some point, but it's like I don't really want to have to kind of do, my Instagram is not just stitching, it's everything, and I've thought about doing a separate Instagram just for stitching. But you know, the people who I'm friends with in real life, not just not just stitchy people, the Formula 1 people and family members and stuff like that, I can put up the stitching stuff on there. If they don't like it, then they don't have to press the little heart button, do they? You know. But yeah, it's not very exciting. That's where it came from. When did you post your very first video to YouTube with Flosstube strict stitching intentions? I don't know. I have no idea. I think it was April I'm fairly sure it was April. And that's my phone shouting at me. I think it was April. I didn't look. Sorry. I'm not going to, you know, I could probably go and look. But yeah, it was April, some point this year. What do you use for your videos? I use my iPad, which is propped up, as you've seen on the snippets that have been put in. Yeah, I use my iPad for that. Do you record onto video software or directly onto YouTube? I record onto my iPad. I then save it to Dropbox, and then from Dropbox I can then get at it on the main computer, and then that's what I use to upload to YouTube. Do you edit? If so, what do you use? If not, why not? I edit slightly, but mainly just to put things in. I haven't got any photo editing software. I know I can get the kind of photo, you know, I should be able to get Windows Movie Maker and things like that. Our computer has had massive hiccups with upgrading to Windows 10. It won't let us do any updates on anything. It keeps saying we need a administrator's password, and we've never put one on. But to put one on, you need a password, so it's just a constant loop. So we can't update anything on it at the moment. We're looking into how to do it, so I can't put anything like that on there that wasn't on there before. So what I use is the YouTube editor. And you basically, you can, you know, you say insert picture here, insert video clip here, things like that. So that's how I've done that. I don't end up editing any other bits out. How many takes are involved in your videos, or is it all in one shot? It's usually all in one shot. I think I've done one where it was two videos I had to stick together. That was because the doorbell rang and I had to go and answer it. This one will have kind of the snippets in that I've taken on my phone and that I took when I was doing the setup. But otherwise that's it. I've thought about doing it as like a vlog, because I'm loving Emily, Eclectic Possessions. I love her vlogs. I think they're fantastic, because then you've not got the whole set everything up. You've just got the kind of sit there, record a little bit, show what you're stitching, done. It's then the putting them together that's going to take the time. I might try that at some point. I don't know. It's having to be. It's the having to then be organised to make sure they all go into Dropbox, save them into, make sure they're in some place I can get at them, and then they're all in chronological order, so I can just stitch them together. We'll see. You know, that would go under probably question 12 now. Okay, if things go wrong during recording, do you stop and restart or just post it? I have been, the first one I did, and there's my phone, thank you very much phone. The first one I did I had to record 3 times. The second one I did I recorded twice. And the second one I had to record twice because we have Groot, who I still try and talk to by the camera so that I'm looking at the camera. When I'd put Groot there, I'd put Groot there like that. For the second video, and I hadn't noticed because it's behind the strip that comes up on the side of the iPad to say it's recording, and I'd not even seen it. As soon as I hit to play back, all I could see, so I just hit delete. I deleted 45 minutes worth of waffle and just re-recorded it because I was like, I couldn't do that. Yeah, otherwise now I know I can stick the 2 videos together, potentially, but I don't know how to chop bits off, so yeah, you just get this. From beginning of setup to video completely uploaded to Flosstube, about how long does a standard video take? Setting up, you saw my living room before, you saw it when I'd done the setup. That took about 20 minutes this time, because of the fact I had a list in here of what I'd covered in my last Flosstube video, and then I was going through the box and going, okay, that's haul, is that haul? Did I talk about that last time? So I had to play it back again and check what I talked about in the haul bit. Just for a couple of things where I couldn't, because it's been so long, I could not remember. And I've been quite good. I try and put anything lovely and shiny and new that I get, I'm trying not to just file it away so that I can go, oh, I need to talk about this on my next Flosstube. But if it turns up like the day after I've recorded and then I don't record for 5 weeks, things end up all over the place. So yeah, it took a bit longer because I had to put that on and then run around and find things. But usually, starting to get the, getting the room ready, sit down, record it, upload it to Dropbox. Uploading it to Dropbox, I can just sit and leave it to do that, and that takes about 15 minutes, maybe, if that. I'm not sure, because it just does it. Then from Dropbox to YouTube, again, I just leave it to it. I think it takes maybe about half an hour. I just leave it to it. They usually go up the same day in the evening. This one's obviously going to go up a few days later. It just depends what I'm doing that evening, what else is going on. What else is going on? And I always watch it back. I watch a little bit back as soon as I've recorded it. This is possibly the next question. This is question 11. I'll leave that then. Right, okay, so 10. What kind of prep do you do? These all kind of come into each other. I don't do a script. Organisation, I try and stack everything up so that I know where things are, and I write down, I say, okay, I want to talk about this one, then I want to talk about this one, then I want to talk about that one, and I have them in a pile in that order. It gets a bit confusing because, like in the last video, I wanted to talk about my ink circles charts that were haul, so I thought, well, then the last whip I talk about should be the ink circles whip, but then I had other little bits to talk about in between, so that might have got a bit tangent, but yeah, I have that. I've tried, the problem I found, I tried doing a practice video, watching it back and then making, sorting out of that. The problem I found with that is that I then felt I'd said the things already, so I didn't say them the second time around. Like, there's at least one video where I know I credit Emily at Eclectic Possessions for something, and Cowgirl Kate for something, and there was someone else I should have credited, and I'd credited them in the one that I then deleted, and I forgot to do it in the second time round, in the second go round. So when I watched it back, I was like, oh no, I forgot to, but you can put it in the comments, but otherwise not. Do you watch your own videos once published? Yes. I watch them. I tend to play them back, and this will change today because I've then got two. While I'm putting everything away again and returning the living room to child friendliness, I tend to watch back the video I've just recorded. And then if anything dreadful pops up in that, I will then potentially re-record. The last one with the Groot issue, I noticed as soon as I pressed play. I do watch them again. I watch them to make sure while I'm putting the video clips and the photo bits in, and then I will, once I've stuck all the bits together, I will watch it before I then hit publish, because I'll upload them as private, and then I watch them again. So I watched my last Flosstube video, not the UFOs one, the other one, before last night, to make notes to say this is what I talked about, so that I know to say this is what I now need to this is what I now need to talk about this time for that one. If you could change or enhance or improve your videos in any way, would you, and what would you do? I'd like to feel I was a bit more professional. I don't think that's not me. I'd like to be able to do something like, I've got my finishes. After I filmed my UFOs, I did my last Flosstube, but then I filmed the UFOs, and then I actually filmed all my finishes. Then there's only like 1-2 fully finished objects. But I then film my finishes. But what I would like is a camera where I could have it like that, looking down, so that I could just have them there, and then I could talk about them while you're looking at them, rather than me kind of trying to hold them up and talk, and all the rest of it. So you can just be looking down at them flat. I'd like to be able to do that. I would like to have the video editing software so that I could put up captions. I can put up text where I've inserted things, so like where I've inserted a picture, it can have text on it, or but I can't have, you know, some people have kind of amazing bits of text that just pop up and say something at a particular point, and I can't do that because they would just be there the whole time. Or if I can do that, I've not found out how to do it yet. So, okay, last one, 13. Share any tidbits you might have about your own recording or any funny stories related to your channel. Not that I can think of. I keep being told I'm too quiet. So I am trying to project and I am trying to speak up. I keep forgetting to look at group. I'm looking over there. Which I don't notice. I don't know. I don't know how much. When I watch Flosstube, when I watch people's videos, you know, Emily, Calgo Kate, Abby Bellastitch, who is just the world's worst enabler. The number of things have appeared on wish lists because of her. Because she does what she does all the things. But there's no chart left behind. And there's a few other people where I just thought, oh, that's beautiful. Go and add that to this. Go and add that to this. But most of the time when I'm watching Flosstube, I'm sewing at the same time. I'm stitching, and I'm not necessarily watching the screen. I've got half an eye on it when I'm stitching, because that way I know I'm looking when they hold something up that's beautiful, or when they hold something that isn't beautiful, that I don't think is beautiful, but they do. You know, when they hold something up. I should do this. When they hold something up, I can look at it. But the rest of the time, it's mostly just voice. So every now and again, I'll find you know, someone will put up a video which is fabulous, but is mostly looking, and then those I have to watch at different times, because I can't watch those while I'm sewing, because I'm like this, and then I'll make a mistake. Everything will get all knotted up. So that was the behind the scenes tag, which I don't quite understand how I managed to make that a 16-minute video. I'm sorry, I waffle, I know. But yeah, that was the behind the scenes tag. Thank you, Jessie Marie, for that. It's good fun. I've been enjoying watching everybody else's. It's given me an insight into everybody else's craziness, you know. But yes, so that's it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Sorry for my waffle. If you have any questions about anything, whips, or anything else, you know, questions about anything, ask me a question. But I will see you soon.